One word to describe this damn weekend of the football that we had in the NFL was absolutely just wow. Like from the start at 3 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. on Sunday, this weekend was absolutely crazy. We
Greatest
had
weekend of football.
literally of all time, like absolutely, like from the window dressing to the main show to the most amazing encore you could ever imagine in NFL
Yeah.
history.
We
Like
were I was thinking 49ers beat the beat the Packers. Crazy. Craziest thing that's gonna happen this weekend. And the Chiefs said, hold my beer.
but like even on that, like just every single game being the last play of the game, and just like the fact that like the comebacks, the re-comebacks, the fact that the San Fran with a block punt like defense ruled that game, like
Oh yeah.
the fact that we were talking during the Buccaneers and Rams game and we're like, hey, 27-3, we've seen this before and it almost happens. Like
Yeah.
and then Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, what more can we say? We will dive deeper into that, but like honestly, this weekend was by far the best weekend of football I think we've ever had in the history of the NFL.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I came out of that like I get excited for football. And I came out of that thinking, wow, I wish this could happen again next weekend. I wish we could just do it, run it back again.
like
Because I guarantee you it'd be just as good, just as entertaining, just the perfect weekend of football for sure.
it truly was, and it sucks that these teams had to lose. Like it sucks that these teams are out. Like it just doesn't feel right. It's like we need a game 7 of every single game. We need like NBA rules to come into effect just to be able to enjoy all these teams to keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of a hatred for the Packers, so like I'm not too mad about them, but everyone else, I would love to see it again.
I mean, we'll dive deeper into it each game individually because I think
Oh yeah,
that,
for sure.
like
Yeah.
truly there was nuances to every game that are very important. The first game that I know I want to hit on was the showstopper, was the Bills going into Kansas City and Kansas City just winning an absolute crazy. I don't even know what to say. That guy, what that game, the 2 minutes that was the end of the game was incredible, and the first 38 minutes were amazing, and then the first 58 minutes were amazing, and on top of that, overtime, we will dive way deeper into that, I feel like,
Yeah.
but truly insane. Like I'm lost for words, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, when I look back at that game and I think about it, I'm just the first thing that comes to mind is just like, what was that 13 seconds? What it like I think about both sides and I think Patrick Mahomes, what's he thinking? Like how is he going through what's going through his head in 13 seconds? He's like, all right. He didn't look phased. He looked like, all right, I guess it's 13 seconds that I get to show that I'm the greatest of all time. And he showed it. I thought about the defense and how if personally, if I was the coach, I'd be a little bit upset because they kind of left them out to dry by not kicking or by not scribbing the ball and giving them less time. But hindsight's 2020, can't really do much about it. I think they should have played tighter defense. Personally, I think more can go wrong for the offense when you're pressing up on them versus when you let them have two free releases. Like if you give me a free release as a receiver, I'm assuming that I'm gonna get into an open space. Like you're basically creating open space, which is half of the receiver's job. So for me, I thought that was kind of a bad look. But I mean, hindsight's 2020,
Yep.
like I said. If
So
they win it, we're looking back and we're like, hey, that was a great call. Nothing wrong with that. But they lost, so now we got to talk about it.
So I have three things about this game that really led to the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game going into overtime, regardless of overtime. This is like the regular time, what happens. First one being is I don't have an well, this is actually before that. I don't have an issue with kicking it out of the end zone. I don't. I really don't with that because at the end of the day, they do have they have all their timeouts. And that's my first point. Great clock management and trusting your offense and the fact that you don't mess up on a single play in the second half where you have to call a timeout in a divisional game, which is probably the biggest game of the year, is incredible by the offense, by Andy Reid, and by the defense. The fact that they didn't have to call a timeout a single time throughout the second half is amazing to set yourself up with 13 seconds. How long does a play take? Obviously less than 5 seconds, right? And
Yeah.
they showed that. So my second issue is even before all this was that when the Bills took the lead the first time and the Chiefs got the ball back, and it's like Chiefs are done. They got a minute 38. They can't score a touchdown, however much time was left. In the 62-yard touchdown by Tyreek Hill. That defense did not make sense to me. So you're running a cover two, right? If we're looking at this, they're running a deep cover two because they don't want to be taking the top off of them. And when they run this, as the cornerback covering Tyreek Hill, you know you're protected on the outside because you know for a fact you have your safety above you who's going to watch that outside route. And if you look at any of the big plays that Chiefs ever have, they're in the middle of the field. Every memorable Chiefs play is done to the middle of the field with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. If it's not to them, the outside is going to be Mecole Hardman or one of their support players when you think about this. So you're
Mm.
covering Tyreek Hill. Why are you giving him outside shade? And then on top of that, they run a perfect seam route on this play as well. This play is just playing back in my head. So they run a perfect
Yeah.
seam route, and Micah Hyde and oh my god, the other
Poyer?
safety, yeah, Poyer,
Jordan Poyer?
yeah, they play the angles so poorly. And I know Tyreek Hill is the fastest player in the NFL, but
I I have one bone to pick with you on that one. I don't think they played that poorly. I think Tyreek Hill outran their angles.
they outran their ass. But as that cornerback, you should have
You
inside
should
leverage there.
I
I
think I think what like if I was to venture to guess why they ran it that way is because one, I don't think they understood the like the situation at like the time
mhm.
management wise, the situation. So I'm assuming that they thought they were going to try to get it out of bounds just in case they don't get a first down and have to defend Buffalo again.
Yeah,
Because this is how honestly I think they played it right. I think the fact that they played outside in is the correct way to do it in that time frame because one, you're up, so you're just trying to stop them from getting a touchdown, and you are you are like you're trying to minimize how many yards that you're giving them. So you kind of push them, you funnel them in the hopes that your linebackers can play back more and kind of control the middle of the field. But to be honest, the Bills, I don't know who their linebacker. I think it Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds, but here's the thing on that play, if I remember correctly, he got pushed out straight forward because I think Travis Kelsey ran a full
Yeah,
seam.
so that's where I was
It
gonna
was a
question
great
that.
and it was a great play call by the Chiefs. It was the best play call for that situation with the fastest player on the field.
See, here's the thing: is that like you gotta guard Tyreek Hill. You gotta make sure that Tyreek Hill doesn't see the ball, and then you also gotta make sure that Travis Kelsey doesn't beat you. It's two different guys you gotta watch out for, and I'm assuming that the linebackers were like, we're gonna focus on Travis Kelsey. We'll let you guys try to handle Tyreek Hill, and we'll play it how it like play it by ear, see what happens. And like Tyreek Hill is literally the fastest player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's gonna get past. He's gonna outrun you. And as soon as Patrick threw the ball, or sorry, Patrick Mahomes. I don't know him personally. That's not He's not my
Mr.
boy.
Mahomes, Mr. Mahomes.
Mr. Mahomes, when he threw the ball to Tyreek Hill, I was like, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen. Even Odell's done that before. I've seen Odell do that. In his prime, I've seen Odell take a slant and go. If you run with the if you're running cover two one, you're leaving the middle pretty open, and two, your linebackers are being swayed inside, which I think, or sorry, not your linebackers, your safeties are being
Yeah.
um, pushed inside. You're gonna get beat either outside or inside. It's pick your poison at that point. And Tyreek Hill's the fastest guy in the league, and he's gonna score. So
How
that I don't really take offense to. I think I kind of understand the logic on that one.
I understand the logic, but that is a cover too when Tyreek Hill is on that side of the field by himself. So technically you're doubling Tyreek Hill. Essentially you're doubling Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Why is someone not playing inside and the other person not playing outside though?
Yeah, I think it's poor communication. That's bad communication on their part.
So
The
now
defense should be pretty
But
upset.
now
With
here's
what's
the thing. So you're trying to now what you said there was that you're trying to avoid that inside leverage, right? You want them to play inside or like you want them to play the ball inside, right? Like you
Mhm.
want them to knock hit the sideline. Why wasn't this done in the last 13 seconds? Because that's one of
Oh,
my
okay.
problems.
Yeah, that's the thing is that
Why?
is
So
the fact that
you're man to man on Tyreek Hill with a minute 38 left with the fastest receiver in the NFL, and you aren't focused on like you're one on one, and you're pressing him decent amount. Why aren't you doing the same thing with 13 seconds? Why are we playing prevent defense as if they're going to score a touchdown?
that's what I was wondering is why do you not one bring more guys than they can block and kind of just play it with one safety and try and stop them, because like at that point I would say that most of the time, I mean, it is Mr. Patrick Mahomes, so you never know. I'm sure he could do a little bit. He's a magician. He's a magician. He can work his magic, but he's also a human being, and people make mistakes. And I've never played quarterback in my life, so but if I see a bunch of people coming free, I would say run your best blitz on the first play, because like odds are you're gonna either make a slight mistake or whatever, get a tackle, and that's that. But you let Tyreek Hill run for I don't know 20 yards,
15 yards untouched in the middle of the field, and he gains another
like
four.
just the fastest guy in the world, in the NFL.
Why?
Just let him run. Like it is baffling to me that they didn't press up on the receivers at that point, because
Not
like I
even
said,
the
you're give
receivers, just the two guys. The two guys you know are going to get
well,
the ball in the situation.
yeah, I mean, like the thing is, and this is credit to whoever put together the Chiefs offense, because they
Apparently
even
Travis
if
Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes on the
but
last play
here's
of
the
the
thing,
game.
even if they did cover up Tyreek Hill and they managed to get that stop, Miko Hardman is just as fast.
Yeah.
He's just as fast as Tyreek Hill. So I mean, it's a snap decision, and as soon as Patrick Mahomes gets to the line, he's got to read that and see that they're backed up, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to throw it to Tyreek. But I, like I don't know. I still think this outcome might have been similar, regardless. That's why I think you press all their
So
receivers.
what I think you do in this situation, what I would do as a defensive coordinator is kind of do the classic Seattle scheme. It works. The Seattle scheme is a prevent defense. That's all it is. It's a press bail cover three. Why aren't you playing a press bail cover three against playing man to man on Travis Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and playing zone everywhere else? So at least you know as soon as they get the ball, you can tackle them. Don't even go for the ball, go for the tackle. That's all you
Yeah,
focus on.
yeah.
But instead, you're playing a prevent defense where literally I think they just made a square and just left no linebackers in the middle of the field. Like I didn't even see someone 10 yards in the box other than the defensive line. Like,
Well, you know what I think it is, and like it's just this is gonna sound really reductive, but it literally just comes down to coaching. Okay, and it comes down to experience, because the Chiefs have been there a lot, and they've probably been there a lot this year too, because they started off kind of soft and then have picked it up. And so they've been in similar situations, and they kind of just understood what they had to do. And the Bills didn't,
yeah.
because I think the Bills' closest game that they had was with the closest game where it kind of meant something was with the Bucks, and they lost that one, and I don't think it. I think it came down to I think the Bucks had the ball last, and they they managed to score something like that. But the Chiefs were just, or the Chiefs were just more ready for that moment than I think the Bills defense was.
I agree with that. And well, yeah, you're right. The Bucks was the closest game they had. That's you're 100%. The Bucks was the closest game they had, and they lost in overtime. And I mean, other than the terrible like Josh Allen threw for 15 passes and Mac Jones threw for 3 passes game
Yeah,
to
we don't
state.
talk about that game.
Yeah, that
We
game.
don't need to talk. That game. That game is a write off.
That game's incredible though.
Yeah, I mean, personally, as someone who played running back, that would have been a dream. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have loved to have played for the Patriots at that point, but as a fan watching that game, I was pissed
Yeah.
because I had Josh Allen as my fantasy quarterback and he put up nothing. And I was so mad.
So
But that's neither here nor there.
let's talk about Josh Allen and the obviously the number one person we thought was going to have the greatest game in divisional history, Gabe Davis. Like we all
Oh
knew
yeah.
it. We
Hey,
all
hey,
knew it. No, you did.
hey,
You did. You did. I will give
I
you your
called it.
flowers. You said this
Thank
man
you.
was going to ball out and absolutely balled out like Jerry
Hey, I
Rice
couldn't have
numbers.
predicted that one though.
No,
I
that
could
last
definitely.
my man played Euro step NBA street style on that last touchdown.
He did snatch some ankles. Like
Like they
ankles were
literally
snatched.
like the grass is no longer there. He's dug into the ground Looney Tune style from Space Jam.
If they don't cut out a role for him in that offense next year, I'm gonna be
How can you
pissed.
not? How can you not? How
I'm
like
gonna be
physically,
pissed
how can you not?
because think about this. Think about this. It's like having, okay, to a lesser degree, it's like having Justin Jefferson on one side and Adam Thielen on the other side.
no, it's exactly that.
And
You
so
wait,
why would
it's like having Adam Thielen on one side and Stephon Dick. Oh wait.
oh you already did exactly. But I'm saying he needs a bigger role in that offense because he's a
100%.
baller.
Yeah,
He's a baller,
100%.
and I've seen it. I saw it the last year, and I saw it this year, and I said I knew at some point he was gonna ball out.
Who
I
would have
didn't think he
thought?
was gonna score four
Who would have thought?
touchdowns,
Like
but
and honestly, I want to get to the overtime. I gotta say, like this game deserved more than what it was. Josh Allen deserved more than what happened to him. Like I can't fathom the fact that Josh Allen isn't in the playoffs anymore after that performance. Josh Allen was the best player on the field that day. Like better than Mahomes. I don't care what you say, he was better than Mahomes. What he did to me
hey,
was more impressive than what Mahomes did. Because like
okay. The only reason why I'll agree with that is because Mahomes has Travis Kelsey and Tyreek Hill.
yes,
That's the best argument I've heard for Josh Allen being more impressive than Patrick Mahomes in that point.
I
But
agree, but like that 50-yard perfect laser effortless that the last drive like the fourth down on the 2 4th downs to start the game like the Bills came out with a great offensive game plan, truly like ran the best offensive game plan against a decent defense. Honestly, like the Chiefs don't have a terrible defense. I know Tyrann Mathieu got knocked out like at the beginning of the game, but like I mean, they have a good pass rush, and the Bills have a very inferior defensive unit, but they're just coached well, except for the last 13 seconds of the game.
clearly, yeah,
Yeah. Um, but Josh
yeah.
Allen and Gabe Davis and like it was art. That game was art. Like just beautiful. Like
You
that's
could not have written a better game, I don't think. And I'm just gonna get this out there now. I do not want the overtime rules to change. I think the overtime rules are fine.
okay. We will get into that now. But I will say you did call it that you said that these teams were even on a fair play, like a fair field. If this was played in Buffalo, Buffalo Bills win.
Oh, I agree.
100%. The Kansas City was loud. Kansas City that was louder than Kansas City has ever been in any game that I've watched recently. Like even
Oh,
like
it's
go
gonna be very interesting to watch the next few years
yeah.
because these two are not
This is
going
it.
away.
This is it. The Bills need a little bit more. on weapon side. I feel like when it comes to like maybe a running back and maybe some defensive big names. But no, this is gonna be huge. This game, this is the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady that we've been waiting for. But
But don't count out Joe Burrow.
don't
That's the
count.
only
But here's the thing.
thing.
Okay, don't cut out Justin Herbert either. Like that's the thing.
I,
Like
I
I
will count
agree.
out Justin Herbert until he's not on the Chargers.
Well, I'm just saying that Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are already there. They're already
Oh yeah,
there. And that's the
yeah.
thing. They're already there. They are the ones. So, and I think that the
They are those dudes.
yes, they are. But I do want to talk about the overtime rules because ever since they have been overtime, there's the stat that not like it's 90.9% probability that the team that wins the opening like coin toss wins in playoffs. Like for overtime. We knew for a fact whoever won that coin toss was going to win.
Oh yeah.
No one was going to stop either team. That was done. It was like whoever offense
Yeah,
gets
I
it.
mean, to be honest, I think if the Chiefs defense had to go back on there, it would have been a bloodbath, and it would have been bad. I think it would have been worse than what the Chiefs did to the Bills because it could have been one play and done.
Like Gabe
They
Davis. Gabe
they
Davis was
look
going to breaking
so bad.
rules. Like
They look so bad, and I that's the only thing that worries me about this weekend for the Chiefs is that their defense looks so bad. But anyways, to the overtime
yes,
rules.
yes.
We'll
So
talk
for
about them.
yeah, we're gonna get to that. But for overtime, my issue with it was truly that it's not. We deserve more from that game. That like it was so anticlimactic. I'm just watching. Oh, pass to Tyreek. Oh, Mecole Hardman runs down the like line for like 40 yards. Oh, first and goal. First and goal. Perfect pass to Travis. Oh, that's the end of the game. That was just the most anticlimactic way. This beautiful last 2 minutes. Like it just felt like it wasn't real. It felt like a dream after watching
The-
the incredible football that we watched. And my point, just so you know, my point for it for overtime is that I don't want to play the full 15 minutes, but at least make it if someone scores a touchdown and only for playoffs, not for regular season, only for playoffs because playoffs are more important. Every single sport has an overtime in which every team has a fair opportunity. Why is football the one that's not? Baseball, you have extra innings where both teams go. Basketball, obviously, you have the full 5 minutes. Even in hockey, yes, it's sudden death. Actually, I don't even know if they. I think they changed it for playoffs or some shit like
oh,
that too.
it's sudden death and oh no, it's a full quarter. You play a full quarter.
So it's like every major sport gives each team a fair chance. Why don't we have that in football? Tell me why
Okay,
it doesn't apply.
let me let me check you right there. Number one, fair is a place where you go on rides and you sell pigs and
Oh my God, shut
you
up.
do all that stupid stuff. Life isn't fair. Such is life. And number two, do you care about the player safety? Because you got to think about you
Okay,
add more
okay, no, I
minutes
agree.
to the game.
But I'm not saying I'm saying giving each team one possession.
Okay, so then that gives the advantage to the team who gets the ball second. Because think about it.
Okay.
I get the ball. Yeah. Okay. So then
So
why are
then
we
so
flipping the
then so no, but
advantage?
no, now here's the thing. Then you change it to college. Then you do your coin toss and you're like, "Oh no, we want to kick." Just like you do at the beginning of the game that we just did 60 minutes ago, you're going to say, "We want to kick the ball because we want to see what that offense does instead." And if we stop them, we know we can score and win right here. But now it's like that coin toss means so much because now the coin toss means more than just, "Hey, like we get the ball, we win." It's okay, the other team gets the ball. If we get a stop, we can win it right here. Just like in college football, which makes college football that much more exciting. And it's not going to be like 7 or 8 overtimes like it is in college football. It's literally going to be someone scores a touchdown, the other person scores a touchdown, then it's the exact same rules we have now. The exact same. Whoever scores next, whoever gets a field goal, wins the game. Only for playoffs. And you might say player safety. I agree with you. Player safety is important, but this is the freaking playoffs. Like I'm telling
I
you,
think
Josh Allen, on God, wishes he wouldn't care if he got a concussion on that last drive if it meant he won the game.
oh, I'm sure. So did Patrick Mahomes when he lost to Tom Brady. and now he's benefiting from it. Here's the thing: you can always go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The It's never gonna be fair, and I think this is the easiest way to do it. Because before it used to be one and done. You could kick a field goal and you're out of there. Now you have to score a touchdown. Don't let them score a touchdown. It's that simple. It's a team game, and I get it because I want to see more Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. He was my fantasy quarterback in every fantasy league that I had. I love Josh Allen, but I don't think you need to go back and forth. I think if that defense was good enough, here's the thing: it's all about which team deserves to move on. As a team, the Chiefs deserve to move on because they did their job and the Bills didn't as a complete team. We can say the same thing about the Packers. The Packers did not play as a team. The 49ers played as a better team and they won the game. So it's the exact same thing because football is played on in three phases. It's special teams, defense, offense. All those three phases need to be tight, need to be locked down before you can say that we deserve to win this game. If you're not as a tight unit, you're not going to win. The Bills were in a tight unit at the end of the game. That's that. I think it's a lot less.
Oh, you were gonna say fair, weren't you? You're about to say fair.
Well, I'm
You were
not going to
gonna
say
say
that
fair.
it's not the most fair rules, but I think as a competitor and as someone who's looking at it from a team aspect, I think it's the best way to do it.
I'm gonna tell you
And obviously,
100% right now. The rule is gonna change, and the reason
hmm?
the rule is gonna change, and why
Oh,
is the rule
it
gonna
is.
change? Is gonna be gambling.
It's gambling. Literally it's always money, and
It's
that's why they added the extra 17 games. Here's the thing: if you want to change the rules. Take away the 17th game.
they're
There
not
will be
gonna do that.
17.
They're not gonna do that. I would
Oh,
be
of
okay.
course
So
not.
I would be okay with seven, and this is a whole different conversation. Um, let's get to 18 games, but let's get 2 bye weeks.
Sure, yeah.
20 game season,
There's more football. Yeah.
more football, but 2 bye weeks. I'm okay with that. That's better. I bet the
See,
players are.
as a fantasy guy, I don't know how much I love that, but
Okay,
that's fine.
but
I'll
for
take it.
player
Yeah, but
safety, and
fair
we
enough.
get more
Yeah,
football.
yeah, I'll take it.
But regardless, anyways, that game was incredible. The overtime rules, I do think, are going to change. It was just unfortunate to me that we didn't get to see. It was just so and it's not even that we didn't get to see Josh Allen. It's just that it was such an anticlimactic ending to such a beautiful football game.
Okay, quick thing before we move
Yeah.
on. The last thing I'm going to say is we're literally living through history right now because we're going to in I don't know 10, 15 years when we have kids and blah 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 and they're watching football and they see this game, we're like, I saw that game.
I
I watched
watched
that
that.
game. I experienced that anxiety from watching Patrick Mahomes get the ball back with 13 seconds left and seeing him will his team back to victory. And I just think that's great, and it's great for football.
I 100% agree, and it's so unfortunate that that was only a divisional game.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally didn't
Hey,
really mean anything.
I saw somewhere that's like that was the AFC
It
Championship.
was
I
no.
don't think I agree. I don't know if I agree because I think the Chiefs could lose to the Bengals.
We will get to that at the end because I agree, but but yes. So we will go now into I think the second most impressive game in my opinion, which was the Rams Bucks game, and that game that was a roller coaster, like 27-3, and I don't want to. There's not much really to say. I think the Rams dominated this game the entire game. I don't like you might say it was 27-7, and yes, the Rams' mental mistakes made this a game. Like 4 fumbles made this a game. If it wasn't for 4 fumbles, this was an onslaught. This was a slaughter. Like truly, like on paper, like the Rams let the Bucks back into this game by fumbling the ball. Honestly,
I have a question. Do you feature Cam Akers this week if you're Sean McVay?
yes,
He's still your feature back. You're still
yes.
going with him.
Mi-
That's your guy.
I'm gonna go give him at least 55% of the snaps. and go between Henderson and I'm forgetting the other.
I think Henderson's gone for the year.
Or
I
my
don't
bad,
think
not
he.
Henderson, not Henderson.
Sony or yeah, Michelle.
Yeah, Sony Michel. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yes. And did you see the moment between Sony Michel and Tom Brady after the game?
No,
They
I did
gave each
not.
other like they probably hugged each other for like 3 minutes. I've never seen Tom Brady so happy for a player in his life.
I think Tom Brady's done.
I did. We'll get into it. We'll get into
Well, yeah, this is what I'm talking because we're
it.
getting way too ahead of ourselves. Yes, yes, yes.
I think Sean Payton's done. Anyways, um,
Sean Payton
I'm
isn't
joking.
done.
I'm joking. I'm
He's
joking.
he's gonna be a Jaguar.
No, he's gonna be an Arizona Cardinal next year. That's my pick, not the Cowboys. Arizona Cardinal
Really?
makes sense.
I
Kyler
really hope
Murray.
he doesn't. I really
Kyler
hope he,
Murray is Drew Brees. I'm just saying.
but faster.
And yeah, more athletic. But anyways, he knows how to coach a short quarterback. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, this
I hope the Dallas Cowboys never see a good game in their lives again. I hate the Cowboys, but that's whatever. They are not in the playoffs.
No, they're not
Patrick
important.
Mahomes. What I heard was Patrick Mahomes did what the Dallas Cowboys couldn't do in like 30 seconds.
In 14 seconds. Yep, he did it in 13. That's
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
Yep. But anyways, when it comes to this, the Rams destroyed the Buccaneers every phase of the game. Defensively, they shut out the Buccaneers. When you think about it, even when the Buccaneers had an opportunity to take the lead at the end of the game or win the game, they got shut out. Like Tom Brady looked like an old man. Tom Brady looked like an old man. Tom Brady
For about a quarter of the game, Tom Brady looked very
lost.
average.
He looked
Very
lost. Tom Brady, when he got hit in the lip, literally looked like he didn't know what to do with his life.
Do you remember when Tom Brady thought it was fourth or it was third down and it was fourth down? That's the Tom Brady that I saw for the first 3 quarters. And then he decided to become Tom Brady again.
Yeah.
And granted, they did give him a chance to become Tom Brady again. They literally were trying to give that game away. They said, we don't want a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Ellie doesn't deserve a Super Bowl. Take the ball from us, please. Tampa Bay needs to win another Super Bowl.
I agree. But I will say the Rams, I wasn't even worried when they did come back. I honestly thought the Rams were just, can you put respect on Matt Stafford's name yet?
Oh, Matt Stafford. He's up on my list. He's moved up. Has to be.
Baller, right?
I forgot.
Oh, did you? Did you?
Stafford.
Did you?
He said, you forgot. You thought I was done. No, he's the man.
Matt Stafford.
But again, can we put some respect on Cooper Kupp's name? Because
oh my gosh,
like he's the MVP of the league. I know there's all this Aaron Rodgers talk, all that stuff,
and Tom Brady talk.
That noise. It's Cooper Kupp. He's the MVP of the league. Aaron Rodgers couldn't take his team past the divisional round. Cooper Kupp pretty much took his team to the AFC or NFC Championship.
How incredible is that connection between Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp? Like it is, it is crazy. Art. And like I said, like last week, it was the same thing with Calvin Johnson. He just knows how to get Cooper Kupp the ball. And
Cooper Kupp puts in the work. He puts in as much work as Matthew Stafford does. And again, this is my push for Cooper Kupp for MVP because he does as much work as a quarterback does. Yep. If he wasn't on that team, I don't think they are where they are right now.
No.
I think Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp have an equal amount.
So you admit that Matt Stafford is better than fucking Jared Goff?
Oh.
Like, do you see how good that offense is with a quarterback, though? Do you see how happy Sean McVay is? Sean McVay was running stuff like that offense was running on a whole different atmosphere. Like
they better bring their whole toolbox next or this.
Oh, they are. They are.
They better leave it all out there.
So other than that, that was a game before. Yeah, that was a Sunday game before.
Yeah.
That was just truly. I didn't respect the Bucs the entire game. The Rams defense was stifling the entire game. They were just put in bad situations by the end of it.
Whoa! Not all the Bucs. Playoff Lenny came through.
He did.
They let him down. He had a after the hamstring. I didn't think he was gonna have a good game, and and with that, I didn't pick him on any of my DFS picks. I didn't go to him because I thought he's not gonna have a good game. Hamstrings are really hard to work off and like come back on, and he had an amazing game. He had one of the better games for for this whole year,
Yep.
and he just I would have loved to have seen Leonard Fournette one more round, but
Nah.
hey,
Nah.
Josh Allen's gone too. So
Yeah. I would if I could take any team from this weekend to keep playing, it'd be the Buffalo Bills. I don't want to see the Bucks. I don't want to see the Bucks. And it's not even because of Tom Brady. It is like I'm not liking the Bucks. There's something going on with the Bucks that's not being released.
I don't want Bruce Arians to have another Super Bowl. To be honest, I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's very mediocre. He just has Tom Brady.
Well, and I think Tom Brady has the Bucks. That offense
They,
that
I
offense
mean,
is
the
incredible.
defense didn't do that well either.
The first game all year that they're all 11 starters actually start the game and
Yeah, and they
they look like
shit the bucket.
they look terrible. They looked.
Well,
This was not a Super Bowl winning team. This was not the Super Bowl team that we saw last year. It just wasn't. And the Rams looked like the Super Bowl winning team for the first 3 quarters, and then they fumbled the ball, like. But like,
and then they looked like the Lions for a bit.
and then Matt Stafford said, "You give me a minute, a minute. You gave me a minute. You gave me a minute. No, you shouldn't have done that."
They really did. They really did give way too much time.
They gave a minute with no timeouts and they won the game. Like Matt Stafford, like running down the field, his team looked this nice, like, get down here now. We need
You
to
know what?
spike
That
the ball.
again, that reminded me of the Matt Stafford arm
Yep.
falling out of his shoulder.
Shoulder,
socket.
yep. And
He's
runs for the
going down
yep.
the field, running down the field. I mean, Matt Stafford is a talent. He is a talent. The team's pretty talented themselves. So
Okay, the defense. I mean, Aaron Donald, like holy crap. Like
that's an all-star team.
yeah.
In some year in a year, I'm sure at least 5 of those guys have been in the
Pro Bowl. I mean, Aaron Donald is, Jalen Ramsey is. I don't know if Matt Stafford actually made it, which is mind-boggling that if he didn't.
Oh no, Matt Stafford's been
Okay, Cooper. I mean, like this year. I mean, literally just this year. Aaron
I don't
Donald,
think he did.
Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, like
Odell.
yeah. Well, you know what's
Odell
crazy? Do you remember when like Robert Woods was like complaining that he wasn't getting the ball, and then literally
and then Odell came through and
well, he gets Robert Woods gets hurt and Odell come. Well, no, so I think they knew Robert Woods was hurt before they traded for Odell, and they just didn't release the information.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. They got Odell, and then Robert Woods magically got hurt on Friday. That's what happened. Sean McVay did a cover up. But again, I'm so happy the Rams. Then the next game, do you have anything else you want to say about that game at all?
Tom Brady's still the GOAT, but he's out the way. He's out the door.
He's a Tyrion goat. Well, I want to touch. I do want to touch on that a little bit more after the fact. But I want to get to the next game, which is the Bengals versus the Titans. I think that was the third best game of the weekend. Honestly, the last 2 games, the Saturdays were both snooze fest. Realistically, they were.
Yes.
But this game was crazy.
I fell asleep during the 49ers game, to be quite honest.
Yeah, honest to God, this Bengals team looks amazing even without only scoring 1 touchdown. Jamar. Okay.
Here's my thing. Ryan Tannehill threw a pick on the first play and on the last play. He gave them the game. He gave away the game. He had a good game in between those. Like I'd say the second quarter and the third quarter were good. The first 2 quarters, not so good. So, I mean, Patrick Mahomes isn't throwing you 2 picks for free. He threw 3 picks.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes isn't throwing 3 picks.
I 100% agree with you. I think that that first interception. Okay, there's a few things I want to talk about here. One, I want to shout out Evan McPherson, the Florida Gator. I got the Florida Gator shoe in the back to represent
that man's bad. That man's bad. Like bad man.
Like fucking baller. Like, I'm
some
sorry.
kind of
Like,
animal. What he said looks like we're going to the AFC Championship. I think that is
that's
so
the
funny.
Gator mentality we need out
That's
there.
he's a rookie. He's
Yeah.
a rookie, and
Okay,
he's like,
I've
yeah,
been watching Evan McPherson for like the last 4 years. Like he's been the kicker for the Gators for the last 4 years, and it's like any big moment, he was the guy. Like he does have that. He
mhm,
has that. He has the SEC mentality as a kicker, and that's what Joe Burrow has, and that's just what they have. It's like the kicker for like Rodrigo, whatever his name is for the Colts.
championship, yeah,
Yeah, he's from Georgia. Like they just have a mentality in that conference with kicking, and they just show it. Like, and he was one, and so I want to give him a huge shout out, Jamar Chase. I have a question,
mhm,
and I don't know if I want to ask it now or if I want to ask it later. I'm gonna ask it later. I want to hold on to this question because I think
okay,
it's a good fight. But I want to say something about the Titans, and that is that one, Tannehill needs to leave because he is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a playoff. He'll get you to the playoffs. He won't lose you the games, but he's not going to win you the games. That's evident. Derrick
yeah,
Henry was not 100%. Derrick Henry should not have played that game. Derrick Henry did not look good, and Derrick Henry looked better than every other running back in the NFL. But Derrick Henry did not look like Derrick Henry.
okay. I got two bones to pick with you. I think Derrick Henry was 100%. I truly do think he was 100%. I think it takes like even with all every position in the game, it takes a little bit to get back that continuity with your team. Like you're seeing the holds all year. You're seeing you know what to expect at certain points, and you got to trust your O line. He didn't have time to like build that trust with his O line, even though he's played with them for years. But you go away for the season and then you come back and you build that trust over time. So that has to do with it. And I think that he had a pretty good game, like for what it was. The Bengals have a good run defense. That's something that they do have is a good run defense. Even if it was Derrick Henry, they have a good run defense. But my thing is, Donta Foreman should be on a different team. He's a good player, and he's
Devontae Foreman has always been good. I think Atlanta made him feel like a certain way behind Gurley for those years, and people felt a certain way about him, and he just hasn't had an opportunity because of
yeah.
it.
And I think when he played with the Texans as well,
Yep.
and he wasn't too featured in that offense either. And I think he could have a featured back role somewhere, or even just like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
But he's a good running back,
That was a
and
good run. That was a really good run. That one he broke for like 35,
mm,
40 yards. That was a great run. The reason why I'm saying that about Derrick Henry is that Derrick Henry doesn't get tackled by one person ever. Derrick Henry got tackled by one person a good amount of this game. Derrick Henry on 4th and 1, the one person I
oh
want in
yeah,
my
that was a
backfield,
uh,
that was a whole
Derrick.
crash. That was a whole crash. I know. That was a great defensive stop.
I've seen that happen to Derrick Henry before though. That's the thing.
He
And
hesitates
I
sometimes. He
yeah, sometimes so that's what I mean by you gotta know your offense a little bit and trust your own line because let's say I've been in there the whole year. I know that like on 4th and 1, this person is winning their matchup, regardless of who lines up against them. So I'm not hesitating. And I'm asking the coach, let's run it this way. Because I'm assuming that they ask him which side do you like better? Like which side do you want to run it to? Or they're asking the O line, like which side do you want to run it to? And so if I was Derrick Henry gets that choice and he maybe picks the right side or whatever. And maybe that was the wrong choice, but he doesn't have a chance to he didn't have the whole year to be able to be like to make that decision and kind of think in his head, this guy's been reliable for me. I never get tackled in the backfield when I run behind him. And so that's just what it is. And it made him hesitate and
So
we
that
got
being
the result
said,
that we did.
do you believe the mental state of an individual contributes to the 100% healthy that they
Okay.
are?
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll give it to you.
I'm just saying, Derrick Henry. I watched the AFC South obviously a lot. Derrick Henry did not look like the Derrick Henry that we know, and obviously he still did look really good, but he didn't look MVP before he got injured, Derrick Henry. And obviously he
Yeah.
came back from an injury. I get it. But he said before the game, I don't set expectations for myself. I know when I can play and I know when I'm healthy, and that's what I do. He did not look like the Derrick Henry that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I mean, stamina also probably plays into that because
Probably, yeah.
Derrick Henry gets better over the quarters, and he wears you down, and then in the third and fourth, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to tackle this guy anymore. I get paid quite a bit of money, but not that much money to get ran over by a truck.
Literally
So
a train, not even a truck. Okay, I'm telling you right now, he is a train. Jarrett McKinnon is a truck, a small
yeah,
a small Ranger. He is a
he's
full.
he's an SUV.
Yeah,
Give
okay,
it-
yeah, that's fair.
He's
But
he's like a Rav. He's a Toyota Rav4.
um, I want to say, we were talking about Mike Vrabel might be the coach of the year
On who
after
more?
that 2 minute. That was the worst 2 minute drive. That was worse than the Cowboys. That was the
You know
worst two
what?
minute drill I've
I
ever
was
seen.
so I was so angry at whatever they were trying to run in the last drive that they had.
They
What
wanted.
that was
Do
so
you know what they looked like?
infuriating.
They looked like the Raiders in the Chargers game, trying to get to overtime to tie the game. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were not. That was not a game-winning drive. That was not. I'm trying to formulate.
Why would you not push the ball down the field? You've had success at least twice where one went for a touchdown,
AJ
the other one
freaking Brown.
went for a big play. Why would you not push the ball down the field?
AJ Brown looked incredible, by the way. Let's just say that right now. AJ Brown, Jamar Chase stole this show, like truly for wide receivers.
If the Titans can't get their shit together, I think AJ Brown needs to be traded because he's getting wasted.
He is.
I
I don't
think
think
he is
Tannehill. Yeah,
a great because big receivers like that don't tend to last as long as smaller receivers for some weird reason. But he needs to go to a team that has a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. And I think probably the reason why they didn't push the ball down the field is because they don't trust Ryan Tannehill as much as you would another quarterback. Because again, 3 picks, or sorry, he had thrown 2 picks already. I'm sure if I was an offensive coordinator, I'd say, hey, maybe I don't want to give this guy another chance to throw the game away. But guess what? He did it anyway. So why don't you just throw the ball down the field? This is
my
coming from me because I had Ryan Tannehill in some of my lineups, and he effed me royally.
my thing with it is that last drive, you're supposed to be coach of the year. You're supposed to have a team that's the number one team in the AFC. You get a bye week. You're fresh. Fresh. And you run the ball with 2 minutes left. And yeah, you gain 8 yards, but you run the ball. Actually, no. They throw the ball for a first down. They miss it. They run the ball. And then they gain a
And then
first
you're
down
stuck on third. Yeah.
with 2
If you're
minutes
gonna throw
left.
the
And you're trying to win the game. And it's not like you're on the 50-yard line where it makes sense. You're trying to get in field goal range. You aren't pushing the envelope at all. You are being stagnant.
see, here's the thing: if you don't trust your quarterback, I say throw a screen at some point in that drive. Throw a screen because why? Like if you're not gonna push the ball down the field and you want to methodically drive the ball to get a kick, that's fine. That's your game plan. That's fine. Throw a screen. Don't run the ball because you're more likely. Like I mean, you do have Derrick Henry, and that's whatever. But like, you gotta throw the ball at that point because you have more of a chance to advance than if you say, "Oh, we're just gonna run the ball." And I don't understand it. Throw a wide receiver screen as
You
well.
have
Is
AJ Brown and Julio Jones with 2
Yeah,
minutes left with the ball at home. I don't give a shit if you have the Walter Payton in your backfield. I don't care if you have Barry Sanders in your backfield.
all right, relax.
Why are you running the ball with 2 minutes left? And why are you why are you running a seam route and throwing the ball into 3 people with Ryan Tannehill? You haven't made this pass
Yeah,
all year. Why are you trying to make it? Your best pass is AJ Brown down the sideline. It is not in the middle of 3 people in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I see. That's again, like I just it doesn't make any sense to me why they would have just that why they wouldn't have just like thrown a couple, like at least one or two shots down the field. Then you get conservative. If you don't make them, you get conservative. You run some digs or something into the middle of the field, not curl routes where if it gets tipped, it's either a pick to the house or it's just a pick.
Yeah.
Like you have more chances to to get, and it goes to show the creativity of their offensive coordinator because like at
It looked
he's
elementary. It looked like they didn't want to win the game. It just truly
yeah
didn't look
I
like they
mean
want to win
it's
the game.
yeah that game kind of made me mad. I'm not gonna lie, but again, that game made me mad for two reasons. Because I think the Titans gave the game away, and two, I think that everyone is talking about how Joe Burrow, and including myself, I think it's impressive that he's gotten them this far, but not a lot of that had to do with Joe Burrow. A lot of it had to do with the fact that Ryan Tannehill is inept as a playoff quarterback. He's not that good as a playoff quarterback. He's a good regular season quarterback, can get you to the playoffs, can manage your team, but he will not go win you the game. He will most likely lose you the game. And so I think that's what I take away from that game, to be honest.
Can we talk about how Jamar Chase took a zero route for like 45 yards and made one guy
Amazing.
miss?
Amazing. I like I've been doubting like low key, I've been like, is Jamar Chase even that good? And I thought the Titans defense actually did a pretty good job on him. Which is another thing that's really, really pissing me off is the fact that the Titans defense is very, very good.
9 sacks,
They are very,
like
very good.
Joe Burrow. Really, no, Mike Vrabel is a great defensive coach. He just needs a good offensive coordinator. But
Yeah.
like he like truly 9 sacks, and I don't care about like oh my god 9 sacks. The Bengals still won the game. They figured out a way to do it. They did. At the end of the day, the Bengals win was impressive because they were able to overcome that and not get frazzled by it. And the fact that
Here's
Joe
the
Burrow
thing.
could stay in and take those hits was crazy.
You hold a team to under 17 points, you should win the game.
Yep.
And you figured out this is why I'm pissed at the Titans. You figured out a way to lose the game. You
But
should win that game and you should be in the AFC Championship.
and
I mean, for me, it might be a little bit biased because I think that the Chiefs would have put hands on the Titans. But now we got to go watch this another nail biter. I don't think my heart can take anymore.
So I'm gonna say Joe Burrow did actually have spots of looking like a rookie in this game. He took bad
Mm-hmm.
sacks. He could have thrown the ball away on probably 3 of the 9 sacks that he took, but he tried to make a play. He tried to do a little too much, and there was the one play it was like 3rd and 13. They were field goal range, and he lost like 12 yards and put him like out of.
He's not a check down quarterback. He's got
I
to
don't
take a
need a
look.
check down. I don't need a check down. You're
Hey, hey,
outside.
hey,
No,
hey.
listen, just listen. What's the check down is throwing the ball out of bounds in that moment.
Yeah, but
Fourth,
take a page out of Ben Roethlisberger's book, man. Like Ben Roethlisberger gets the ball out quick. Joe Burrow does not,
he
and
waits.
I think that comes with time.
LSU. That comes with LSU. That comes with the fact that he was waiting for Jamar Chase to run 40 yards down the sideline and he was
Yeah,
open every single play.
you know how in the middle of the season everyone was talking about how Patrick Mahomes wants to make those big splashy plays. I think Joe Burrow has that same problem, and his O line, to be honest, inept, not
Yeah.
very good.
No, they're
So
not good.
it's a bad mixture.
The last play I want to talk about, other than the incredible field goal and Evan McPherson just truly being a great
Oh, as
kicker.
soon as he walked on the field, I was like, that's game.
No, as soon as Jamar Chase ran that out route and completely
Oh
broke
my
the ankles,
God, that was such a crisp throw. How do you let him get over top of you like that? I was so annoyed. So annoyed. You had one job. One job. Just don't let him get out of bounds. One job. Couldn't do that.
and gained that,
Crazy.
and Evan McPherson obviously winning the game. Honestly, this is one of my favorite games to watch because it was a spotlight of a kicker and Jamar Chase, in my opinion, and Eric freaking Reader. Sorry, I'm probably not his first name. Reader. God, what's his first name? The damn
DJ.
DJ
DJ.
Reader.
Oh, DJ Leader is a beast.
That
He's a
man,
beast.
that man made people look like children.
See, the thing is, he doesn't get looks and he doesn't get talked about because they don't play a lot of primetime games. But he's an animal.
Yep, he was an
He
animal
was
for the
tossing
Texans.
you.
For the Texans, he was a baller. It's just exposure, right?
Mhm.
You got anything else to say about that game? Last subject.
Uh, uh, Ryan Tannehill got to go. That's all I have to say about that.
Ryan Tannehill got to go. 49ers versus the Packers. This game, this was a snooze fest to me. I'm sorry. This was the most boring game of the weekend.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it was my pick, and I was happy with the game.
yeah.
I fell asleep personally. I fell asleep,
Honestly, I didn't
but
watch the full game. I couldn't.
I was
I
still
physically
happy.
couldn't. I honestly couldn't watch the full game. And I gotta say, it is so unfortunate that you called it on this. The special teams just shit the bed. Like,
Yeah, if you're not crisp on all three phases, or at least average on all three phases, or at least average in one phase and good on the last two phases, you will not be good. Even the 49ers, they don't have a great special teams
no, they had the
unit.
second worst, and the Green Bay's had the
Yeah.
worst, and it
And
showed.
so at that point, that's where you got to look is like who's got a better who's like the most complete. And to me, it felt like the 49ers are the most complete. And I got the game assessment completely wrong, but I knew that some way, somehow, the Packers were going to lose that game. I thought that the Packers defense would not show up for the run, and they did. They played they played well enough to win that game. Again, if you hold a team to under 17 points, you should win the game.
The Packers defense was like they actually have some solid pieces.
Oh, they balled. They balled that like in that game. And it's unfortunate that Aaron Rodgers chose that day to decide that he wanted to be average because that's what happened. He plays in Green Bay. It's gonna be cold. He always talks about how it doesn't matter.
He loves being in the
The cold
cold.
doesn't bug him.
Yeah, because people get slower, and I feel the same.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? You look slow and the other team looks slow and you couldn't get over it.
I will say the receivers did not look good for Green Bay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Let me just pause
Okay, well, I'm
right
not gonna say
there.
Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams doesn't count here.
Lazard was running first.
Alan Lazard was an undrafted free agent to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he was on the practice squad. And I knew for some reason this guy could be something somewhere. Literally,
Oh yeah.
he's built to be a receiver. 6'7", long ass arms, 240, like built to be a receiver. He's Kyle Pitts without the athleticism. Like that's his build. And
I think Kyle Pitts
he
was
got graced with a great quarterback, and he's shown that he can be a number two, like a low tier number two, a high tier
yeah,
number three.
yeah.
And
I think to be honest, I think the biggest problem with the Packers offense was Aaron Rodgers. He was missing check downs. He was missing tight ends, and he was trying to get big plays because obviously, if you get the crowd back into it, it's pretty much over. The crowd was out of it for most of the game, so I understand like from like trying to make something happen standpoint, but you're winning the game already. Just throw the ball to the tight ends because the tight ends, like I can probably pull up tape of tight ends being completely wide open. And then he missed a bunch
okay,
of
but here's the
throws.
thing: he throws a ball to Mercedes Lewis, and the first ball that he gets.
Okay, yeah. I'll give it to you. That was just a great play by
No,
Fred Warner.
yeah, Fred Warner is incredible, but I'm again, Mercedes Lewis is a Jaguar player, and somehow he always messed up in the big games.
You know who that reminds me of? Um Freaking what's his name?
Jimmy Graham,
No, on the Seahawks. Everett.
Luke Wilson. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Everett. I forgot his first name, but he is some way somehow he's gonna manage to drop that ball, and he could be so good, but just can't catch the ball.
Um,
Anyways,
do you have anything
yeah.
on the San Fran side? The only thing I have to say is that Jimmy G is not that guy. I'm sorry, he's not that
Hey, hey,
guy.
hey, hey,
He's
don't
not that
mess with
guy.
my boy
No,
Jimmy. Jimmy
Jimmy G
G is
looked
the fourth
garbage.
best quarterback in the league, still playing. Okay, so
We are
put some
gonna get it. We
respect
don't worry. We're
on
gonna do
his
that again.
name.
We're gonna do that again. But oh my god, dude, that Jimmy G is not that guy. And
he can win. He can. If they have to, let's say, let me just put a scenario out there. They got to play the Chiefs. They win this next game. They play the Chiefs. They're not winning. Jimmy G's got to ball out, and I don't see it happening.
He
But
didn't the first time.
I think he could. I think he could get him. I think he could get him to the Super Bowl. And here's the thing.
Okay,
Because
real quick. Do you have anything else to say about this game?
uh they need to get two things to say. Debo Samuel's contract next year. I don't care.
Give him
If
everything.
he,
Give
I
him
don't
give
care
him
if
San
he's up for
Francisco.
it. I don't care if his contract isn't up yet and he doesn't need to negotiate. You need to pay him all the money because he is your offense. Two, I think Jimmy G is a good quarterback that's injured. And we gave Baker Mayfield we let him have all the excuses in the world about how he's injured and he's playing injured and blah, 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 blah. Well, Jimmy G's still in the playoffs playing injured. And so we got to cut him some slack a little bit.
Playing in the
But
cold
with that being said,
a torn thumb, I get it. Yeah, you're not gonna
yeah,
have a
with
good
that
game.
being said, I don't think he's gonna be the person to win them
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, but I also don't think he is gonna I think
We're
he could lose them.
transitioning now into looking forward for next week for the NFC Championship. So this is a great segue. So what are you gonna say about Jimmy G going against the Rams? Say it now. What you think?
I think Jimmy G going against the Rams. Let me give you his stat line against the Rams this week. It's gonna be 225 yards. He's gonna have a completion rate of about 660. And he's going to have 2 touchdowns. And I think they win the game still.
How many interceptions?
He's going to have 1 interception.
Now, you know he didn't have a touchdown in Green Bay, right?
It was cold. That thumb was bothering him. If you have an injured thumb, I'm sorry, it's going to bug you in the cold. I literally, I have this finger, as you can see, is broken, kind of broken. And this has been.
You just want to give me the
years.
finger. It's okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to flip off, this finger broken. And it's been about 2 years and it still bugs me in the cold. So I'm going to assume that his thumb was going to bug him. But he's in the cool SoFi Stadium. Are you kidding me? Come on. He's going to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball to win this game. Or here's another scenario. They pull a Bill Belichick. They run the ball for 4 quarters.
They have to run the ball. No, they have to run the ball. If they're going to beat the Rams, they have to run the ball.
I think but here's the thing. Do you remember what I said about playoff Lenny? They have 2 playoff Lennys in the backfield.
Yeah, I agree. They have to run the ball. They cannot. Okay, so this is the way I believe. Like this is what's. The Rams are the better complete team, 100%. I don't see how the Rams lose this game. I'm putting that out there right now. I don't see how the Rams lose this game.
I think you got these.
Absolutely
things
not.
on.
Absolutely not. Okay, cool. I agree. I 100% agree with you. But here's why. Here's why. I'm not going to tell you about the teams. I'm going to tell you about the situations that they're coming into. The Rams, to me, played in Tampa Bay. It was 50 degrees in Tampa Bay. It was a cool, nice day to play football. Where did the 49ers have to go?
They played earlier.
You play a day before in the blistering, one of the coldest games in NFL history, which was a slow.
Yeah, and you're just.
No, you're telling me that these players are not going to be. These players are coming off hurt. This game, the San Francisco players are going to be more sore than any other team that played this week.
I played in cold games.
Okay,
I played in cold games before. You're not any more sore. I promise you. The only point that you have is that the 49ers are more injured.
But
they are a lot more injured.
They're going to be a lot more injured. But for me, the Rams had an easier time because they didn't have to come back. They had to prevent the comeback, but they didn't have to come back. And I think that the way the Rams won was so much more electrifying to the team than the way, let's be honest, the 49ers were handed the game at the end of the game. They got a block punt, but great play, great, amazing special teams play. But they were handed the game. The Rams played their asses off for the majority of the game. I think the Rams were riding a wave. I know they're playing at home and there's no home field advantage for the Rams because they don't have fans. But that's quite all right because like I said, there is something with Sean McVay and there's something with Matthew Stafford. This is Matthew Stafford's revenge year, like I said before. This man is angry. He is not going to let Jimmy freaking G stop him from getting to the Super Bowl. He has let the Lions make it so he couldn't get to the Super Bowl for 10 years. You think he's going to look at Jimmy G and say, that's the guy that's going to keep me from the Super Bowl? Because I guarantee you, he is not. He is not. I truly just look at the Rams as there's something different in their eye because of what has happened to the organization, what has happened to the specific players, what has happened to the coach. I think that they have a different edge, and I think that Sean McVay has his offense, and I can't see I can't take Jimmy G over Matthew Stafford. That's it.
Hey,
Jimmy G, Debo Samuel, I don't care how good Debo is, they're not as good as Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford.
all right. I've let you talk. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Okay,
Okay.
34-20. That's it. Rams.
Okay, 34-20. That's your what's Kyle Shanahan's record against Sean McVay?
4-0, right? Or 5-0?
6-0.
Okay. Okay.
6-0.
Okay. So how many games did he have Jared Goff? 4 of them.
We will go about. We will talk about.
No. What?
Let's move on. That's neither here nor there. Anyways,
What?
he's got 6 wins on him. They all know each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that one person knows the other more than one. And you know who that is? The person that's 6-0. So I'm telling you right now, I don't think they get it done. I don't think I picked this out. I said this last week. I said that the 49ers were going to beat the Packers and they were going to have to play the Rams again. And I said that if they have to play the Rams again, they're going to beat the Rams. It's going to be a 49ers Super Bowl. And you know what's going to be the key?
Debo Samuel.
The 49ers front four. Because let me tell you this right now. The 49ers front four is better than the Buccaneers front four.
You scared me for a second. You scared. I thought you were going to say the Rams. I was going to literally punch you through the screen.
I won't disrespect the Rams like that. The 49ers front four is better than the Buccaneers front four, and I'm pretty sure the Buccaneers front four got some pressure on Matthew Stafford. And the other thing that they do really well is run defend. Mm-hmm. And you know who has a fumbling problem? Cam Akers. And you know who causes fumbles? Fred Warner. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. Cam Akers might have another 3 fumbles this week. I'm saying I won't get too crazy. Okay. I'm gonna say 27-24.
Okay. So just so you know, for the I was looking at the spread. The Rams are favorited by 3.5 as home. So on a fair playing field, they are only favored by half a game. The over-under is 46, so we both have the over on that. I look at this as the same thing that happened last year with the Saints and with the Buccaneers. And that the Buccaneers lost to the Saints 2 times, and Tom Brady said no and came out and won that 3rd game.
So you're telling me you think Matthew Stafford has the same fortitude as Tom Brady?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Actually, 100% yes. Actually, 100% yes. Do you know the difference between... Do you think... Honest to God, you don't think Matthew Stafford would have won a few Super Bowls if he was on the Patriots?
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like, come on. Like, people, like, oh my God, can people stop this with Tom Brady? He literally had the best defenses of all time, the greatest coach of all time, and was a...
Don't disrespect Tom like that. Don't disrespect
I'm not
Tom
going
like
to. But here's the thing. But, like, let's be honest. Fucking, like, Bill Belichick took a rookie this year and made playoffs.
Oh, and he made playoffs and got smacked around.
By the Bills.
You think Tom Brady would have gone smacked around by the Bills?
Yes.
Oh, stop! That's a lie.
We won't get into that. We won't get into that. But honest to God, Mac Jones' first year and they played very well. So I'm like, honestly, like I get it. Tom Brady's a goat. I can't take away he's won the most Super Bowls. He's won the most championships out of anyone. I can't take it away from him. But at the end of the day, I'm sick of everyone putting all the credit on him. He has had the best opportunities out of any quarterback in true NFL history. Yes, he's a baller. Yes, he makes plays, but holy crap, start giving other people credit, because there's other people in that building that's not named Tom Brady. And same with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers had a perfect team last year. And honestly, the NFL teams were building last year. If you really look at the teams last year, none of them were primed to win the Super Bowl. The Bucs fell into a very fortunate situation, and they just beat the shit out of the Chiefs on a bad day. That's how I feel about last year. To me, there was no powerhouse in the NFL last year other than the actual Buccaneers playing against the Chiefs. It did not seem like the NFC had a powerhouse compared to this year. All the teams completely opened up. Getting back to this game with the Rams and the 49ers, I just see Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay and Cooper Kupp having a connection that is going to be special for the next 2 years that we aren't going to see with any other team. This is a Michael Thomas and Drew Brees-esque elevated, in my opinion. Matthew Stafford is better than what Drew Brees was when he had Michael Thomas, and I believe Cooper Kupp is better than Michael Thomas because because Cooper Kupp can actually run routes that aren't slant boy. But other than that, like
Hey,
but other than
you're
that, I'm too subjective. I know. I just can't. If I'm wrong, I will tell you right now. If I'm completely wrong, I'll take it. I'll like literally. I'll let you literally stand up and like just parade around. This is one of the games out of all the games of the year. I said the Rams were the team since exactly a year ago. I just don't see how they're not. I just don't see how they're not.
hey, we'll see.
We will.
I'm
100%.
I'm not gonna say anything else. We'll see.
Now I'll go from being completely
Stafford
certain.
Stafford does he
By the way, he's the number one quarterback against the blitz quarterback rating. Just so you know, he is the
yeah,
best
I'm not
he,
saying it's a blitz. I don't think they need to blitz to get into the backfield. First
mm,
of all, with I don't think Andrew
he's not back. He's still
I
hurt.
don't think
They
he's
have a
back
different
this
left
week.
tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think um either Bosa or Armstead are gonna make work
Oh,
of
Nick
that.
Bosa is going to get 1.5 sacks. If I'm going to do an over under 1.5, like realistically
If I was betting, I'm saying 5 sacks on Matt Stafford.
for San Fran or for
Yeah.
Nick Bosa, I'm saying Nick Bosa specifically is going to get 1.5 sacks. Um, but other than that,
If they can't get the run going though, if they can't get the run going, it's gonna be a long day. That's all I'm gonna say.
so now flip it. So how do you see San Fran being able to beat the Rams defense?
Same formula they've always had: run the ball,
That's fair.
and then if they have to at the end, let Jimmy G try to win the game. And I think, and I honestly, you're saying this, you're laughing.
No, I get it. He has the
Jimmy G
Tom
has a
Brady.
very,
He has the
he's got a
Tom
pretty good
Brady.
record.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good record as a quarterback. He's got a very
Who is his
winning record.
coaches?
Okay, that's fine. You can say that, but let me just.
So wait. So you're saying Jimmy G is good as Tom Brady?
No,
So how did he have a winning record in in New England then? How did Jacoby Brissett have a winning record?
you just said that. You just said that Bill Belichick took a rookie quarterback to the playoffs. Obviously, he could do that with Jimmy G, a competent quarterback. I think Jimmy G is a better Ryan Tannehill.
So if Jimmy G doesn't perform this game, do you think it's Trey Lance time?
Well, I don't know. Why isn't it Trey Lance time now? He had
That's
his chance.
I want to ask that. I want to get. I want to ask that later too. But right now, I want to get into the other game.
Wait. Before you go,
Yes, of course.
before you move past it, who's your game changer in this game?
There is no. It's Cooper Cup.
You think it's Cooper Kupp?
It's always Cooper Cup.
All right.
It's
I'm
Cooper
gonna give
Cup
you
or
two games.
okay. If the Rams win, it's Cooper Cup.
Yeah. That's what I
If
was
the
gonna
San
say.
Francisco 49ers win, it's Fred Warner.
Okay, that's what I was going
It's
to give
Josh
you.
Norman. Josh Norman covering Cooper Cup
I'll
at the
give
end
you
of the
this.
game.
I'll give you this. If the Rams win, it's going to be Cam Akers.
That's fair.
And if if the 49ers win, it's going to be Jimmy G.
That's fair. I truly believe that this has to be the 49ers. If the 49ers are going to win, it has to be their defense beating the Rams offense. It is not going to be Jimmy G beating the Rams defense. I don't know.
The Rams defense can be had. I'm just going to tell you
It
that right
can be.
now.
It can be,
They
but
they
so can
they
Jimmy
both
G. Jimmy G was had a week ago. He just got fortunate by a block punt.
but who has the better running game? Who has the better running game?
Who has Aaron Donald?
At the end of the day, football comes down to the inside people, the big
I thought
guys
it came to
making the plays.
the three types of.
Okay. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
No,
It comes down to the big man play, and I think
so
if you're gonna play playoff football, you're gonna have to run the ball and you're gonna have to control the clock. And I think the Rams or the 49ers are very comfortable controlling the clock.
I
They
think
did.
Kyle Shanahan is. I think Kyle. This is
One
a
sec, one
great.
sec, one sec, one sec. Who is the better quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Matthew Stafford?
Aaron Rodgers.
How many times has Kyle Shanahan beat Aaron Rodgers now?
It's 4 times. No. Wait.
Well, twice.
No.
Twice.
Yeah. Because he's only been the coach. Don't forget, he lost to San Fran before. He was a coach there.
When he was in the Redskins, I believe. Or
Well,
sorry,
no.
football team.
But I'm saying, yeah. But he, Aaron Rodgers was losing. God, who was the 49ers coach before Shanahan?
It was he's in the
Harbaugh. Oh
yeah,
my
Harbaugh.
God.
Yeah,
Jim, right?
Yeah.
Who might be an NFL coach coming up soon here too.
But anyways, I'm just saying, you keep saying it's just Jimmy G, but there's that man on the sideline calling the plays who knows exactly how to stop.
I love Kyle
high-powered offenses.
I love Kyle Shanahan. I see something different in Sean McVay this year. It's funny that they came from the Washington football team, all 3 of them, with oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Matt LaFleur, all 3 of them being on the Washington football team's coaching staff, and to see where
the most impressive so far has been Kyle Shanahan. I'm just gonna say.
Actually, I would say realistically, Matt LaFleur has done really well with a team that only has a great whatever. We won't get that. But I'll just Kyle Shanahan.
I'm not sold on the Matt LaFleur thing. He reminds me of Cliff. He reminds me of Cliff Kingsbury. They gave me the same vibes. Bad at making coaching decisions. Bad at managing time. They kind of give me the exact same vibe.
I love Kyle Shanahan, but don't forget he did have one terrible year. Like there was a time that Kyle Shanahan almost was fired, like before he went to the Super Bowl. It was close.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't fire him.
Well, they need a quarterback. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, last game. I go from being very
Aaron Rodgers. He's probably going to be available.
So it's Tom Brady. I go from being very certain that the Rams are going to win to being very uncertain about this game, which I do believe it's going to. I 100%, 95% believe that the Chiefs are going to win this game, but there is 5% of me.
I am 75% Chiefs.
Something about the Bengals just entices.
The thing is, they don't here's the thing. They don't beat themselves. You either have to beat them. Well, or you lose.
Yeah.
And it gives me the same vibes that the Patriots do, where it's like they're not really gonna make big mistakes that's gonna kill them. But if you play a good game, you could beat them. Zack Snyder,
I think he has no connection to Bill Belichick unless I'm completely wrong, but he kind of built this Bengals team. Zach Taylor, sorry. Like Bill Belichick did.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that he built it it's a bunch of B+ players with some stars, obviously, but it's a bunch of B+ players. There's no one crazy on the Bengals. Yes, they have a great receiving core. Oh, one thing I want to say, I am so happy for T. Higgins. I am
T. Higgins. He had a great game.
He did, and he looks good.
I see them that receiving core going off this game. By the way,
yeah, they have
because
they're gonna watch
the Chiefs. uh DB core is booty.
And they're gassed.
It's bad.
They're gassed. They're
And
tired from
I'm
chasing.
sorry. I'm sorry, but whoever thought it was a great idea to have Sorensen as your captain or your quarterback of the defense is on crack, because that man he gets beat constantly. You could put a highlight reel of him getting beat. And I think if the Chiefs lose this game, it's gonna be because the defense let them down. It's not gonna be
Right.
the offense.
But
Yeah.
obvious. And we are back, and I just want to say for this game, I don't think this is a weird one to me. I believe the Bengals can win. They have the right formula. The Chiefs, I can't bet against the Chiefs in this game. There's no way. There's no way. I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes against Mr. Patrick Mahomes against Joe
Yeah, get it
Burrow.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see Patrick Mahomes? See if I got Patrick Mahomes. I got Patrick Mahomes right here. This is Pocket Patrick right here. Mini
Oh,
Mahomes.
kind of fire. I like that.
Um,
Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty hard for the Bengals to pull this one off, but
hey, they did.
it can be done.
I don't really know that I'm okay. If I'm giving you a score on this game, honest to God, I think that it's going to be the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, they've scored 42 in the last two games, both times. I see them scoring 37, and I do not see the Bengals scoring 37.
I'm because this one feels like a pretty easy, it has less intrigue to like kind of dive into, in my opinion. But and with that being said, I'm gonna say they're gonna put up at least 44, and the Bengals are gonna get about 40. I
You,
think
we want
it's
this to be Monday night 2018 Rams versus the Chiefs. This is what we
I
want.
think it's gonna be a high scoring game, unless the Chiefs figured out some kind of voodoo magic to make all their players or all their DBs all suddenly a lot better.
Steroids.
I don't. Yeah, they gotta get some really good steroids in order for those DBs to be better, because I've seen them get burnt now at least 3 weeks in a row, or at least 3 weeks in the last I think
No, the
five or so
Chiefs.
weeks.
The
The and the last time that it happened was against the Bengals. The
yeah.
last time that they really got work put on them was against the Bengals, and then last weekend as well. But I see it being a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
It's going to
And I
be
think
the offenses win this game.
and I think I just trust Patrick Mahomes slightly more than I do Joe Burrow, but I would not to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win.
I agree.
That's how I feel about it. And if the Bengals win, you have to put Joe Burrow 1, 2, Joe Burrow's 3.
It's if Matt Stafford loses, though.
All right, Matt Stafford's gonna lose, but whatever.
Like that's I we'll see. Again, 30 38. I see this a score 36. Sorry, I just 36 at 24 is my score. I don't I can't see it's I can't bet against Patrick.
I think it's gonna be an early onslaught of scores, and then it's gonna kind of die down, and then it's gonna pick back up at the end of the game.
It's gonna be the exact same. It's the exact same what happened with the Bills and the Chiefs. That's how
Yeah.
the Chiefs play the game. That's they make you play catch up. You catch up. They're like, okay, you can't actually play catch up, and then they're gonna take off.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
And then they're gonna play the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and the 49ers are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
If I call this, the NFL needs to call me. I need a job on NFL Network.
How's your fantasy teams doing?
Pretty good.
It's gonna be crazy the fact that back-to-back years the home team that's hosting the Super Bowl is gonna be in the Super Bowl. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy when the 49ers, the home team, gets to play in SoFi, their home stadium, which has been their home stadium a lot this year at least.
So two things I want to go into. I want to go into the rankings of the last four quarterbacks because we were talking about this.
Yes.
I know mine off the top of my head, so I'm gonna go with my rankings, and then I'll let you say yours. My number 4 ranking quarterback obviously is Jimmy G. No,
What?
what?
You're crazy.
Like Jimmy G,
Somebody get this man an assessment in for
some
insanity.
CTE because he played
Yeah,
quarterback and
he
got
is
hit too much in the head.
crazy.
Okay, so for quarterback, and then we're gonna do the team after. But for my quarterbacks, number 4 is Jimmy G. I'm going Joe Burrow number 3, Matthew Stafford number 2, and then Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. That's the 4 remaining quarterbacks. For my teams, I'm gonna go Bengals number 4, San Francisco number 3, the Chiefs number 2, and the Rams number 1. That's how I'm going for the teams. What do you have as your quarterbacks, and then what do you have as your teams?
Your list is infuriating. Both teams have. Okay, I'll give it to you. Your list for quarterbacks, I only have one alteration to that, but your list for teams infuriating. Anyways, I would go Jimmy G number 4, Matthew Stafford number 3, Joe Burrow number 2, Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Patrick Mahomes number
Mister.
1. And then for teams, I would go Bengals number 4, Rams number 3, 49ers number 2. Actually, no. For teams, I would go 49ers number 3. Actually, I think I have the same team list as you, but I'm just going to switch the top 2 because I promise you, if the Chiefs and the Rams play, the Chiefs are putting paws. They are 1-2 punching the Rams, and it's a KO, and it's not even close.
Got you.
Okay.
That's it. I don't have much. I don't have much on top 4. I mean, I think the quarterbacks make sense. The teams is very debatable. We have to see who makes it to the Super Bowl. I think I don't think the Bengals are the best team, but I think they have a chance to get there.
Hey, if you're in it still, you still got a chance.
I just can't believe Jimmy G is the 4th best quarterback remaining in the playoffs.
They can't
Actually,
believe Jimmy G is about to be the best quarterback in the league.
You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say this. He might not even be the 4th best because Trey Lance might be better.
I don't know about all that. He's not playing.
You know what? Actually, you know what? I just gotta say, I don't know if he's not on the Rams anymore. I would say Blake Bortles is definitely a top 3 quarterback remaining because he was on the Rams for a little bit, but he's not on the Rams
Who is
anymore.
the Chiefs backup?
Chad Henne, a former Jaguar. A former Jaguar.
Chad Henne, Tennessee.
I would take. I mean, Chad Henne helped them win a game last year to get into the Super Bowl.
Chad Henne had big balls in that game too. Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
I want to get to the winners and losers of the divisional round, but I have one thing to say. Do you remember last week when I talked about the OJ curse?
Oh yeah. It's still there.
Oh yeah, I have a new one. Are you ready for it? So in 2019, I think it was, there was a draft that was hosted in Tennessee, and they sent out a specific player to talk about the 3rd round pick for the Indianapolis Colts. Do you know who that was?
Pat McAfee.
It was Pat McAfee. I think the Colts are going to be cursed by Pat McAfee.
Whoa. Pat McAfee's my boy. I listen to his show. Chill out.
I think there's a Pat McAfee curse on the Colts because
I don't know about all that. I think the Colts just had Carson Wentz.
No, listen. Do you know what Pat McAfee said that day? Pat McAfee said, "We have a genius from Stanford who has a great mind, who is surrounded by a young nucleus." You know who's not there anymore and retired literally a year after?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Pat McAfee has much to do with that one. I think Andrew Luck just has a lot of money.
I think he pissed Tennessee off, and I don't think that there's a Pat McAfee curse. And until the Colts can make it to the Super Bowl, I'm going to say there's a Pat McAfee curse, just like there's an OJ curse for the Bills.
All I'm saying is, what's Tennessee's curse? Because they haven't been there either.
Tennessee's curse is that they cheated in the Mile High City Miracle, and they actually cheated to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Championship in 1999. They actually
all comes back to your Jaguars.
Nope, actually it was proven that they stole the playbook game days before the game, so they did a whole just like that Bill Belichick did against the Bengals. So I think that in the Music City Miracle, where they threw the ball forward. They have that curse, and they will never win because of it. And also, they have the Ryan Tannehill curse. But
Okay, I think it's
anyways,
more of the Ryan Tannehill and the Carson Wentz curse
the
than
Chandler
anything
the
else.
Chandler curse of the week is that Pat McAfee cursed the Colts by going to Tennessee and talking a big game about the Colts. But the funniest quote in life came from that speech, and that was that you probably don't recognize me because we did not punt much against the Tennessee during my career. Best line you
It's
could ever
true.
say,
It's
ever.
true.
Um, I want to go into this. I have a few questions for you, comparison questions, but I want to talk about the winners and losers of the divisional round. Okay. So I have
Okay.
3 winners for me, and then I have 3 losers for me.
Okay.
So do you have anyone in mind for this?
Biggest winner. I only have a couple of winners. I would say biggest winner is Patrick Mahomes, Jerick McKinnon, because he's gonna sign a big deal next year, and I would say Jimmy G. Those are my 3 biggest winners.
My 3 winners for this, for the divisional round is Evan McPherson, Matthew Stafford, because he finally did it. He finally
Yeah.
got his chance, and the entire Chiefs team for being able to get out of
Oh,
there.
okay. Yeah. I like
Truly.
that. Biggest losers.
Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is the biggest loser. The Bills 2-minute defense, and by that I mean the Bills 13-second defense, and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so I'm gonna go the Aaron Rodgers, the Packers special teams uh, unit as a whole, and I would say also Mike Vrabel because come on.
But that was the yeah. So I
No, no, let me not put that on Mike Vrabel. Ryan Tannehill.
no, that was on Mike Vrabel. Something
Nah,
Mike
I'm gonna
Vrabel
put that
said.
on.
Something the offensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel put the offensive coordinator there, and he I don't know. There's
Did put the offensive coordinator there. Yeah, you're
uh,
not wrong about
like
that. But still, I'm gonna put that one on Ryan Tannehill.
maybe.
Three picks is enough for me to put it on Ryan Tannehill.
So one of my questions for you: do you think that the first round bye matters anymore for the first?
No, I think it does because you do get a chance to get healthy. And if you're healthy at the right time, you could make a run. I think for the Titans, it probably was not going to
Neither
matter
did
whether or
it.
not.
Didn't matter for the Packers.
Well, okay, the Packers, I think it's a little bit different because they they weren't a complete team as we were made.
Neither first overall team came out looked like a first overall team. That's all I gotta say.
I think here's where it. I was thinking about this. The Packers lost this game in the offseason when they didn't shore up their special teams. The Titans lost this game in the offseason as well because for some reason they thought we can win with Ryan Tannehill. So that's where you lose. So it didn't matter if they had first round bye, no first round bye, they were gonna lose regardless. But if the Chiefs had a first round bye, I think it would be a dangerous time in the AFC for
If the
any
Bills
team.
had a first round bye, they win the Super Bowl.
I don't think so. I don't think they needed it.
But I'm just saying, if the Bills played at home, 2 home games.
I think the Bills needed that confidence from the Patriots game in order to get to where they did. I think it
Yeah,
worked out.
but I think the Bills needed a home game.
Yeah,
They
I think
needed to
that's
be the
more.
2
I think
seed.
that's more important. The having that home field advantage was more important than having the first round bye.
Yeah, and it shows that Kansas City won that game. I think because of
Yeah.
home field
So they
advantage.
didn't. So the Bills. I think the Bills could have had the 2 seed, and if they had the 2 seed, they would have been sitting pretty, but they didn't, and that's such is life.
I agree.
You know
Um,
what? The biggest loser, and this is just like emotionally, the biggest loser for me is Bills Mafia.
yeah,
And once again,
OJ Simpson curse.
they get screwed out of another Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Sucks to suck, Bills
it
Mafia.
does. OJ Simpson curse. Um, Another question for you. Going back, and we're talking about losing the offseason. Going back to the number 3 overall pick and trading up to get it. If you're Sam Fran, do you take Mac Jones over Trey Lance?
I'm San Fran. I take Jamar Chase.
Mm,
I put I
yeah,
I put I put more receivers for
but
because
so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
here's
No,
the
no,
thing.
no, no, no. But just truly think about this. They were going for a quarterback no matter what. I don't. They don't want.
But
They
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You took Trey Lance with the expectation that you would have Jimmy G for one more year or whatever, and you would Trey Lance would eventually come in and play. And so with me having hindsight to look back and say, hey, this is what I would have done.
1 year too early. Yeah, 1 year earlier.
I would have
Yeah.
taken Jamar Chase
Re-
because you had that time. But with that being said, I would have definitely taken Matt Jones over Trey Lance.
Because the way I look at it is that if Mac Jones is on that team, Mac Jones is starting.
But I don't think Mac Jones is doing any better than Jimmy G is.
He's not, but Mac Jones is at the same level as a rookie that Jimmy G is at this point of his career.
I don't know about that. I don't. I mean,
If I'm building,
it does.
so this goes to my next. This goes actually to my next question. If I'm building a team right now, if you are building a team right now, and you had to choose a quarterback for the future, not for a season, for the future of your play, like for your career, do you pick Jimmy G or do you pick Mac Jones?
Oh well, I'd pick Mac Jones.
Okay, then why would you not? So would you pick Trey Lance or Jimmy G?
I'd pick Jimmy G.
Would you pick
Trey
Trey?
Lance hasn't shown. Trey Lance hasn't shown enough to tell me that he can read a
So
defense
so that's my
and
thing is that
throw the
you
ball.
you drafted Trey Lance to take you drafted him to take the torch. Mac Jones showed that he could carry the torch this year. If you take Mac
Mac
Jones,
Jones showed that he could handle like he could protect the
I mean
torch.
Jimmy G can only protect the
I don't think he's
torch.
taking it anywhere. I think he's got it in his hand and he's making sure the flame doesn't go out.
Jimmy G does the same thing.
I mean, to be honest, neither one of them would they. I think it would be a similar situation regardless. It'd be more impressive if
I
Mac
think,
Jones
but
was
okay,
doing it.
so yeah, I agree. But when Jimmy G goes down, I think that they win the games with Mac Jones. There would be more controversy if Mac Jones is there to start Mac Jones over Trey Lance. I don't think San Francisco as a team, like the players, I don't think they like Trey Lance as much as they would have Mac Jones because everyone says they
You
have
want to know what I heard is that the San Francisco
loves Jimmy
players
G.
they love Jimmy G.
And I think that Mac Jones would have had that mentality closer to Jimmy G. I don't think Trey Lance has the locker room leadership.
I guess we'll see. I mean, there's a reason why he's not starting.
So this goes to my next question. If you're starting a team right now and you need a wide receiver one, and we're looking at right now forever, would you pick Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase
Tyreek Hill, not a question.
for the entire career from here on out, not from past,
Oh, okay, so
starting now? So Tyreek Hill is 27, Jamar Chase is 23. Starting now for the entire career, who do you take to take a team as a wide receiver one?
yeah, I guess I'd have to take Jamar Chase just because of the parameters that you've set for this hypothetical. I'm pretty locked in. I'm very locked in, but I think it's a good hypothetical.
I
I
mean,
just
truly,
think that
Tyreek Hill is still going to be a top tier wide receiver. Jamar Chase, I think, is going to be a top. He's already a top 5 wide receiver. And that being said, if I'm going to do that, I would have to remove certain players. Truly, I'd have to remove certain players. And you have to prove. I'm big on a few. Like I'm big when you say like Pro Bowl players, and people say, "Oh, this person got snubbed." Okay, tell me who's he's going to replace. You have to prove
yeah,
to me who you're going to replace because you can't just say this person got snubbed because you think this person got snubbed. I hate that argument more than anything. So I think that Jamar Chase within the next 2 years is going to be a top 5 wide receiver.
okay, so hear me out here. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna give you the same parameters: Cooper Cup or Jamar Chase.
That one's harder to me.
You think that the only reason that one is harder, I think, is because of the age and because we've seen Tyreek Hill slowly start to get more and more injury, like little injuries come in. But I think Tyreek Hill is the better of the three receivers.
Yes. My thing about Cooper Cup is that Tyreek Hill is just so damn fast. There's nothing you could do. Cooper Cup adds so much to your team. Like his blocking is phenomenal. His ability to run routes is like he has had to prove himself, and I think that he's more crisp and more high tier at aspects of his game than Tyreek Hill is. Tyreek Hill benefits from his top tier speed like a lot, truly. Like his top tier speed is unmatchable, and that's what makes him the greatest weapon, not necessarily the best receiver, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But here's my thing and this is the argument that is against Cooper Cup in this, is that Cooper Cup is a strictly slot player. Jamar Chase goes outside and inside.
That's what I
It
was gonna
makes it a
say.
lot
Like
easier. It
Jamar
makes it a lot
Chase,
easier.
sorry.
It makes it a lot easier if you're a slot player because you have more field to work with. If you can play outside and come in, if you can dominate on the outside and dominate on the inside, that makes you a complete receiver.
Only specific players can take a zero route and go 40 yards. That's like Jamar Chase is that guy.
Yeah.
And carry the ball in one hand like he's a quarterback running down the field while he does it, by the way. What the hell was that? Like literally makes the man miss like he's Mike Vick and then runs down the sideline. Only certain receivers can go on a X route and cut in and go out and catch the ball. And
Yeah.
and Jamar Chase, we are going to see very quickly how wrong people are for one. Two, he's blessed by a good quarterback that I think people were also pretty low on. People were low on Joe Burrow. They are. Now they're starting to get respect, but I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves. And I think Jamar Chase is gonna literally destroy. Jamar Chase is gonna be one of the best receivers within the next 3 years. And I think
Do you want?
Tyreek Hill might fall off in that time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I could see that, but Jamar Chase is gonna have to work pretty hard to get over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. I see on that one, I think that I would want Jamar
And let
Chase.
me let me
I
just
would want Jamar Chase because I think Jamar Chase is actually bigger than Justin Jefferson.
let me put this out there for you. Justin Jefferson plays with Kirk Cousins. You never know what kind of Kirk Cousins you're gonna get. And
What do
Jamar
you
Chase
mean?
still ball. Or sorry, and Justin Jefferson still balls. Jamar Chase benefits from playing with Joe Burrow, who you know exactly what you're gonna get from Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is not gonna turn the ball over, and he's gonna get you the ball in the right places. So I think you got to look at the quarterbacks a
Tyreek
tiny
Hill
bit.
plays with Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes plays with Tyreek Hill.
He also plays with Travis Kelsey. Oh, okay. Last thing. Anyways, hypotheticals are done. I think Jamar Chase is going to be a true top tier receiver. Um,
My
I would honestly take him over Justin Jefferson. I would take him over Tyreek Hill at this point of their careers moving forward. I think that he has proven that his hands people are underestimating. I know he had these drops, but his hands are I don't know how much time he put in, how much work he put in after he dropped those balls in preseason and everything. This man's catching everything and making catches that are not easy look easy. Like his route running, perfection. His top end speed, perfection. His catching ability as a rookie to do what he has done is unthinkable.
Jalen Waddle is going to be better.
Really.
Yeah, that's my hot take.
That's cool.
Jalen
I agree with
Waddle.
that.
Jalen
He's
Waddle.
Tua Tagovailoa needs to go. They
Yeah,
need a quarterback.
Jalen Waddle gets snubbed the most because he plays with Tua.
Devontae Parker, dude. Like Miami's got ballers.
Yeah, Devontae Parker should be good too, but he's always injured. That's the
Yeah,
only. That's
but
not.
Miami has ballers. They've always had a baller receiver. They just have never had a good quarterback to throw to them.
I think if you put Jalen Waddle on the Patriots with Mac Jones, oh my god,
I say Jalen
would
Waddle
be
gets
disgusting.
Miami's old quarterback and Ryan Tannehill, and they just have a blast down in Miami.
Yeah, I don't know if Brian Tannehill is any better than Tua, to be quite honest. I think they're
um,
about the exact same in my opinion.
that's yeah. So last thing I want to touch on before we end this show is that the Tom Brady situation.
He's retiring.
He has to.
I don't think he has to. I think he's going to.
No. Like Giselle is literally telling him he has to.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably
I
where
think
where
that I
where
think
it's
that
going.
literally she said like this was too hard for me to watch you this year. I think it's time. I he's
There's a saying, and I think I just heard it today, is if you're thinking about retirement, you're halfway to retiring. So, and he's talking about retiring, and he hasn't shut down any talks about retiring, which he normally does. And I just think it's gonna be like he's probably gonna
and
retire. And
Gronkowski's
then
gone
and
too.
then
And then
Rob,
Gronk yeah,
Rob
Gronk
and then Rob is gone too.
yeah.
Sorry, Rob Gronkowski, Gronk is gone. I
I
don't know why I
agree.
keep calling these dudes by their first names. I've never met any of them. I don't know.
Mr. Gronkowski is. You know what?
Mr.
That is a new rule for our podcast. We call everybody Mr. by their last name. That's what we
Yeah,
have to do.
Mr. Burrow is a beast.
but yeah, I agree. Rob Gronkowski, Mr. Gronkowski, and Mr. Brady, I think, are going to be retiring. They are going to do what Mr. Payton did. I think that what Mr. Sean Payton did was right. Step down now on top, so you don't. So you're gonna have because the Saints are in a bad place going into next year.
Wait,
Mr. Sean Payton retired today. On Tuesday, yesterday. Mr. Sean Payton is no longer the head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
what?
You didn't hear?
Where was I?
Okay, you, sir, if you are going to be on a podcast, need to
Oh
keep up.
no.
Yeah, so Mr. Sean Payton is no longer the head coach of the
It's
New
been a
Orleans
very
Saints.
busy week for me. Uh,
He did
I
an
apologize for
hour.
not knowing
No, no,
that.
no. You're okay. He did an hour and a half press conference yesterday, and he did not disclose if he was retiring forever. He just says he needs to step away from the game for now. So people think that he's going to come back. But if I had a guess, I think that the Arizona Cardinals. People are saying the Dallas Cowboys because that's where he started his coaching career. I truly think that the Arizona Cardinals because I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to be out next year. And I think that'd be a great opportunity for Sean Payton to come back in because he's going to have a great quarterback with a great receiver, and he can truly make the Arizona Cardinals a good team.
We'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, so the Saints are officially one of the teams that need a head coach.
That is crazy to me, and they are very over salary cap. Just
70
so
million.
yeah, the Saints are not going to be good, and if they are, I will be the first to apologize for that statement.
Kellen Moore.
I feel like that is a death sentence for
Any coach. And it can't be a new coach. Dave Caldwell, maybe? PC's shit on regardless? Maybe. You know what? Jim Harbaugh. I could see that.
I don't think he's going to do much with them.
He won't, but he's the only. No one's gonna be able to get anything out of the Saints. If you're hiring a coach as the Saints, you have to understand that this team is gonna be crappy for 3 years. They have to sell everybody. Everyone has to leave. Everyone. It is a fire sale. Like literally, sell the stadium. Like
what's the old LSU coach's name?
The one that's like, oh, do you mean Coach O?
Yeah,
Augerton.
Coach O.
No, he's in hot water. Don't forget, he said some bad things, and he got kicked out of LSU. It was not a good relationship.
Yeah, he was on some stuff for sure.
Yeah. That guy maybe Joe Brady from Carolina because he's from LSU. So Joe Burrow's
either way, the Saints are not going to be good next year.
No,
they might still have a decent defense though.
They'll always have a great defense, but they will not be a team. But yeah, so Mr. Sean Payton is retired. I do believe that Tom Brady is going to be retiring, and I think Robert Gronkowski is going to be following him retiring as well.
Yeah, if not this year, definitely next year. There's no way he plays another whatever till 50, like he said. But I mean, like I said, if you're talking about retirement, you're probably halfway to retiring. Yep. And that's just the and that's crazy to me because that's truly the end of an era because it started off with Peyton Manning retiring and then Drew Brees. And I'm assuming Big Ben's going to retire and then Tom Brady's going to retire. And that's going to be...
It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the last one. Like, of that, to me, I think he's a part of that generation. He's a little bit later. I think that Aaron Rodgers
he's like in the middle. He's what I would call a zillennial,
Yeah.
like the very in the middle of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like, but I think, to be honest, he is the worst one out of all of them, except for Drew Brees, I guess, because Drew Brees has one and he has one. Big Ben has two. Peyton has two. Tom has seven.
Any
And
closing
Rogers
comments?
has
One.
one.
Any closing comments? Anything you want to get off your chest for the end of the show?
Go Niners.
Go Niners. Okay. Go Rams. Good luck next year, Jacksonville Jaguars. That is it for episode 2 for David. My name is Chandler. This is What's the Check Down? Maybe we should ask Joe Burrow that after this coming up game. Let's see if he checks it
Maybe
down.
you should learn how to check it down.
But hey, other than
Sure.
that, I hope everyone has a great night. I hope we have a great weekend of football. Next week is Pro Bowl. So you know what? I think that we're going to talk about Pro Bowl snubs and who should actually replace them and who they should be replaced. So that's going to be a topic we're going to hit, other than talking about the conference championship games coming up after that. Talking about the conference championship games. Other than that, again, David, Chandler, What's the Check Down? I hope everyone has a great night, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Peace.